Not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Brock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and it's finally we had a wrestling match. Finally, we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man. I would say, like, for me, like the best ones, I would say, are like the ones where they try to get a certain like time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for WrestleChat with Vince McMahon. Let's get ready to rumble! Yeah! Hello, and welcome back to the Nation Network. Vince McMahon with you here, and this is going to be an unusual version of WrestleChat. Game on, a little bit of everything mixed together, Lucha Chat. It's all going to be just like a big-ass omelet this morning, because I am still testing different things out. Miracle, welcome aboard. Thanks for being here early in the morning. And to answer your question, what's the latest on your situation? We're going to find out, aren't we? There has been a newer version of OBS. I went back to 27, which worked fine in the past. And when I pulled up 27, I was like, holy shit, this thing is horrible. I got used to the more modern versions, so I forgot how scaled down that damn thing was. And it didn't help matters, because my last stream, y'all saw it crashed. So that didn't fix the problem, which tells me then at that point in time, it may not be so much, and then I'm going on and more I'm finding out about Windows 11, and it's just destroying people's days. And I don't have half the problems some of these people have. Some of these people have it a lot worse than I do. But I'm convinced, because while my computer was in the shop and I went back to my Windows 10 computer, no problems. It's still OBS. So it's not the OBS. It is Windows. It's fucking Bill Gates. That's all it comes down to. So I may end up being one of these people that just goes to Linus and says fuck Windows altogether, because this is out of control. It is so bad right now. And I've gone so deep into the rabbit hole on what's creating these problems that it all comes down to the AI, and that Gates and Microsoft have stuck all this money in investor, and now they're not getting investors because the investors don't believe, and they're right not to. Sticking all their money efforts into the AI aspect of thing. So the ChatGPT and Copilot in particular. Well, here's the problem. Users are removing those two features in droves. I mean, massive amount. And even then, the people that are using them are only using the free tier service, which is even what I do. When I make my thumbnails, I'm maybe able to make 3 images a day, 4 at the most. And then you'd have to pay. I'm not paying. Sorry, there's too many alternatives that are free online. Why would I pay? So that's kind of the boat most people are in. Very few are actually paying for the service. Not only that, but why would I pay? If I'm asking for a thumbnail featuring Hulk Hogan, and well, we can't actually do that because that's a real person. But then 2 minutes later, with almost the exact same prompts, it'll pop one out. Why would I pay for that? When there are other ones out there that'll make a movie with Hulk Hogan in it. So that is where that's going. So this right now today is actually a test, because I want to see how long we can go. We got Mania coming up on Tuesday, and I don't want it to be a clusterfuck where the system is shutting down in the middle of the show. So I want to see if this thing is now fixed, where I can do a 2-hour stream and it doesn't crash all the time. So that's kind of where we are at today. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking wrestling. Going to be bringing Jay on in just a minute here. And we're also going to have the game up on screen quite a bit. So you'll be seeing more of the game than you'll be seeing of me and Jay. But we'll be here talking and reading your comments and all that kind of stuff and having the chat, because there's plenty to talk about with the game as well. Then we'll touch on some of the stuff happening in the world of pro wrestling as well, and tie it all in together and make a couple hours out of this and see if it doesn't crash. Now, if it crashes, stream's over. Don't hang around, okay? Because I just needed that question answered. Either way, Tuesday, I promise you there are plans to make sure that Tuesday night's show for WrestleMania goes off one way or another. And if this system can't do a stream anymore, I don't know what that means. I just don't know. I can't keep doing a lot. First, you have a game not working. We'll talk about that. Then you've got a computer essentially not working because Windows is ineffective in Windows 11. And my old IT guy at the last job I had was telling me, when I knew I was going to be forced into it, and I didn't want to do it. And it's like, dude, what's up with Windows 11, man? It's like, what's wrong with it? What do you mean, what's wrong with it? You're an IT guy. Everyone's saying it's horrible. It's horrible. I've had it for a year. I have no problem with it. Well, maybe you don't have a problem with it because you're an IT guy. It might have something to do with it. The rest of us fucking hate it. I don't work there anymore, so I can't talk to the guy to let him know why I hate it, see what he says has to offer up. But it is what it is, man. It's a piece of shit. Windows 11 and 2K. That's the thing. It's like the perfect storm. All of the worst tech hit at the same time. You know, forced to go to Windows 11 from Windows 10, which worked beautifully. Forced to go to OBS. Well, I wasn't forced, but you just naturally you want to get the more recent version of it. And that OBS did fail for a while. I mean, a lot of people, big-time creators, are having problems with OBS. So it's not totally like OBS is off the hook. But it's not entirely them. So there's that. And then we can even mix in a little bit of Game On, because the PlayStation, as PlayStation 5 is getting to the normal end of its life cycle, where the new one is talked about and being brought in and all that kind of stuff. And this is normally when you start seeing the consoles dropping in price. Yeah, that's not happening. And we'll talk about that a little bit too. But if I can cue this here, y'all. Let me see. Am I in the right thing? That's what I'm looking for. At this time, before we go much further, I would like to welcome on board my partner in crime, my sidekick, the one and only J-Rocks. There it is, finally. Say hello, Jay.
Hello, Jay.
All right. If anyone can't hear him, let me know in the chat, but according to the bars over here, you should be able to hear him fine. Last time we did this, it was a pain in the ass. All right. So, like I said, we're going to do a couple of things. So I switched while we were loading up here to my main account, which has the levels all set to be competitive and things of that nature, so that we should have better matches. This is 2K26, or however we're talking about. Saying, hey, I don't know exactly what that's going to look like. But let's go ahead, because Jay was saying something here moments ago while we were getting ready to do what we do here, that he was doing hardcore matches where the guys aren't doing any weapons. Now, I don't recall having that problem, but let's find out right now. So we're going to sim a match right now. Go to play, go to Extreme Rules, one-on-one. I'm going to leave just WrestleMania Arena. We can always switch over to a created arena and see if there's a difference to be had. We're going to go here. Actually, this is good.
Yeah, for me, it hasn't really had any effect with the arena. It's just the fact that I put them in the matches, no holds barred, extreme rules, falls count anywhere, anything that you can use a weapon in, and they refuse to grab weapons. They want a chain wrap instead.
Yeah, let's see what we get. I do like this indie CM Punk and the fact that they have that old song in there that he used to use. It would have been nice if they'd have given him an actual entrance from back then. I'm going to have to change that on my own, I guess. A little surprised they didn't change his entrance. Oh, I already made that change. Okay. I may give him a cut. I don't normally believe in custom entrances because then the cuts are usually a little janky. But I might just change his stage entrance like when he first comes out and then leave everything else.
Right.
Because he wasn't doing that whole stroking the ground thing back in the indie days.
No. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, that's the same thing he used when he was in TNA also.
I didn't watch him in TNA. I wasn't watching TNA back then either, so I don't really know. Oh, I didn't do any entrance for him yet? Okay, I got to work on that then. Well, maybe I did. Otherwise, the default one is one of the big guys that steps over the top rope, so. This is just somebody I'd created because I like that mask. I almost bought it last year, and I know I'm not going to buy shit this year. I did buy one hairstyle only because on my second account, there was that's where I'll be doing like any AAA stuff from because I can download everything there. And somebody made a TJP that looks really good, but you had to get the hairstyle to get it. That's how you start off a hardcore match. Kick him in the dick. All right, let's see. Again, I've seen them go and pull the ladder out 100 times, so I know they'll do that much. And I remember them having, like, the thumbtacks and chairs and shit, so. But let's see. He's outside. He's going under the ring. He's got a table. So I'm not sure. It's got to be something with your settings.
Yeah. That's why I said I may have to just set everything back to the default and see if that fixes the problem. But like I said, when you have hardcore titles and you put people in hardcore matches and they grab no weapons and shit, it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, it does kind of suck a little bit of balls.
Yeah.
Well, while this is playing out, we can... oh, wait a minute. We'll get here. Kevin's in the house. Dude, today is about anything you want to talk about. There is no format today. I'm literally just trying to see if I can get an hour and a half to 2 hours without the stream crashing based on some minor changes that have come along. So I know the PlayStation... this isn't PlayStation related, but if you have a Google streaming stick... They're putting a 24-hour block on its streaming sticks and streaming boxes. Wait a minute. What? Stop. What the fuck are you talking about, Kevin? I do have both a Fire Stick and an ONN. A 24-hour block on its streaming sticks and streaming box. Why would they do such an animal? Oh, Miracle, none of us are surprised about anything 2K related, believe me. We were having that conversation before we went on live.
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling Vince when on the past games when I'd shit not going right, I get pissed off and throw shit and get all mad and everything. And this game, I'm just like, I started to get mad the very first time. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's 2K. You bought the base game.
And you knew it was going to suck.
Deal with it.
You knew it was going to suck. I don't think we can access 2K24 VC anymore. Well, it only has like 2 days of life left on it.
I was going to say, Miracle, I was on 24 last night because I wanted to get in there and see if I could grab anything with what VC I had. And it was a pain in the ass, first of all, to even get into my faction. And then when I got in there, it was not wanting to, when I click buttons to redeem this, that, and the other, it wasn't wanting to do it. And so, yeah, I think it's hit the point where
they threw in the towel.
If you didn't get it, yeah, if you didn't get it, you're not getting it.
And that might be the same case with 26 in about another week or two. Yeah, he's going under the ring again. We got a steel chair. So, yeah, it's definitely a settings issue.
Okay. All right.
Shot to the head. Ooh.
Like I was saying, the matches that, if anybody hasn't seen, I've started a new series called HSW Warzone. And it's all 2K26. It's a new federation and shit.
And where can they find that?
At JRock's Multimedia on YouTube.
So if they actually search for J-Rock's Multimedia, that'll pull up your channel?
You can either search for J-Rock 70. It's J-Rock 73.
There you go.
So you can either search for J-Rock 73 or J-Rock 73 Multimedia, and it's both there. But the matches that I was putting on, like I said, with the settings I've got, it looked like classic wrestling. It looked like Bob Backlund style matches and shit. Chain wrestling out the ass. They're doing all this, nice stuff. But when it came to the hardcore things, they were like, nah, we ain't doing that. So it's more, the settings I've got would be more akin to like if I had an NWA or a AWA federation running. I could see these settings for that. But they don't work with like a current roster if you're trying to have a hardcore title on the line and everybody wants to just lock up and push each other into the corners. So.
They did right by as it relates to 2K25 regarding my faction. Well, sort of. Yeah. I actually started doing a little bit of my faction in 25 because I was watching Kenny Bomb stuff, and the biggest reason I didn't like it is they didn't explain it well at all, which is a 2K trademark.
No.
They never explain shit. And then I'm watching Kenny do it for a while, and I'm like, okay, now I see the logic behind it. And then I started looking at, okay, to get these cards and to get these cards. I was like, okay, now I see the money behind it. But then there were some challenges, like, again, World Tour. I did a pretty good chunk of World Tour in 25 because there was things to be had. I mean, I can get the extra Ultimate Warrior without the face paint, which for some reason or another, I wanted that. You know, and then there were a few other freebies that you got by doing different legs of the tour. And I thought I was going to finish the tour out, and I just never quite got there. I got to New York, and then things started getting a little bit over the top with multi-person matches, and those are always harder. Even if you have it on easy settings, it doesn't really matter. If there's like 4 people all coming after you at once, it's a gangbang no matter how you look at it.
Right.
But this year, no, I gave up very quickly, and I won't be going back.
Really?
They've made all the challenges so much harder. They are going to make your ass grind it. Even watch Kenny. He's not having any fun.
The only reason I sound surprised is because I've actually started the world tour on my faction because like I was telling you earlier, I enjoyed the storyline so far on the island, which surprised you. And I figured let me just try a couple I said, let me just try a couple matches on this world tour. And they weren't that bad, but maybe that's because it was right at the beginning. Maybe the further in you get, the more insane shit gets.
Yeah.
The only downside to the island.
It could be. I mean, like I said, I didn't give it long. I could just tell right away. Like step 1 last year, which I think was either Florida or Texas. It was Florida. And it was pretty easy.
This year too.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. And then as you moved along, it got a little bit more challenging, but still doable. You know, if you put it on easy setting, you'll get through it. You're going to spend time doing it, but you'll get through it. And I could just tell the way step 1 started out. Was it doable? Yeah, I got past the first challenge, but it was nowhere near as simple as it was a year ago. And I could just tell this is not going to be worth the grind. It's just, I'm done. I'm not giving them anything more than they've received. Period. They're not going to get another nickel out of me in real money at all.
Right. The one thing on the island that took me some time to get used to was the fact that no matter what you've got the rest of the game set on,
that doesn't change it.
Easy, hard.
Yep.
No, because there's certain matches on the island, like the very last match I was telling you about that I did for this first story. It was legendary. It was set on legendary. It was a bastard to beat, but
is it any fun?
I liked it. Yeah.
Really, on legendary?
Yeah, because because it was the story leading up to it. That's what made it fun for me.
Yeah, the story part might not be bad. I mean, like I said, last year's My Rise had a great story, but and I knew it would seem weird to me this year. Last year, you didn't have to get 12 stars to advance the storyline. So just the fact that you got to get these 12 stars to move forward, that means minimum 3 matches.
Right.
That's, in a perfect world, a minimum 3 matches, 4 stars a match. You're going, why? I don't want to have these stupid no-meaning matches that are literally just to get stars. And not only that, but now, here on this account, eventually I got to go back to the one that I finished the whole thing in as a heel and continue defending my title because that character has about 141 stars, and I got to get 200 stars to unlock the Juggernaut Grace Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually looks better than the in-game model. They've done a better job on her. But that's still, at 140 to get another, almost 60 points. If I do get 4-star matches, that's some matches still to have.
Yeah. The thing with that last match, with it being on Legendary, was that there was because like I said, it was a 3-on-2 match. So you basically had to time yourself with your tags. So as long as you kept that next fresh person in, it really wasn't an issue. But you missed that tag window where you get the next fresh person in, it would cause you some problems. That was the only thing about it. You had to learn a rhythm to get through it.
Yeah, what I have seen with
But,
legendary stuff this year, whether it was Kenny or who's the other dude, can't think of the other dude's name right now, is, again, a lot of these challenges are legendary. It wasn't that bad last year, okay? And even last year when it was legendary, you had to spend a lot of time outside, like when I got the AJ Styles thing, spending a lot of time outside the ring, which isn't the worst thing in the world if it's like a match like this where falls count anywhere and you can do whatever you want kind of thing.
Right.
But in the meantime, if it's not that way and you got to beat a 10 count, now you might, you got to try and draw the other guy out to break up the count and hope that happens. And if not, then you got to try and pull him out. And if that don't happen, you got to get back in the ring. And if he hits you one time, it's fucking over. So that was not what I call fun.
Right.
It took me a number of times to get it done successfully to unlock AJ. But and even this year, where is he? Where is AJ's, TNA days with the I Am theme song? That's not even in the game.
Oh yeah, that'd been great.
Yeah, they had it last year. Now they're probably going to end up coming out with a damn Persona card for it. Maybe they'll put it into the Battle Pass. And that's something I'd be cool with because you haven't advertised it. So you spent your money not expecting it.
Yeah. And that's something I saw somebody talk about the other day, was the fact that you do all this grinding in my faction to get these Persona cards, and then they don't carry over to the next year.
Oh, hell no.
So what they suggested was whatever was in the My Faction Persona cards, instead of putting your DLC in the Battle Pass, put those last year Personas in the Battle Pass, and then
it ain't hard to make it right.
Right. And
but there's no money in that. There's no money in that.
It depends, because like I said, I was unlocking shit, realized I had gotten to level 20 in the Battle Pass, and I was like, well, fuck it, I'll pay the $10. I got my 4 AAA guys, and that came out to $2.50 a piece, which I'm okay with paying for those. Now you do that with Persona cards, yeah, I'll probably do that too, because I would rather unlock the Persona cards that way than to fucking grind them in my faction.
Yeah, but the Persona cards don't work so much that way this year. Well, I mean, Miracle's even bringing up the same thing, and I've heard it from Kenny and a couple of other big-time guys that play that mode most of the time, is that the first challenge is you had to have the Triple H, which one was it? I think he posted it here. Hold on a minute. Back when he was John Paul, I guess. Anyway, you had to have the Triple H when he had the mesh shirt thing going on. And that was last year's, so you would have thought that would have been free this year, but no, not in there. And to get the card, you can't even get the card like buy it in the market. You have to have 4 or 5 other from that same series of Persona cards. And when you get those 4 or 5, however many, I forget, then you will get the Triple H card that you need just to start the first one. That if you get the first one done, then you'll get the next Persona card that's not one of those 5. You know what I'm saying? So to really start the mission, you're going to need to buy a lot of packs because you're going to need these 5 cards.
Yeah. No.
And they all said the same thing. We're not giving you any more money. So they're grinding, and it is a legit grind now because the other challenges where you get XP and stuff like that, and then you'll take that and use it to buy a card, and also the cost. Night and day from last year. It's like what we paid for a pack last year, the amount of time we grinded to get enough XP to buy a pack or a case of them back last year has quadrupled. You have to spend so much more time to get the same product that you got a year ago. They are doing everything in their power to make you want to spend more money, because time is money, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Thinking people were going to do it. I mean, that's the stupid part, that they really thought that people were just going to open their wallets and hemorrhage money. And now that it's not happening, they're all in a Twitter. Well, sorry, your shit sucks, man. I don't know what to tell you about that Brian Mazik unique fuck. Piece of shit. If I remember a dev's name, you know he's a douchebag.
Right.
By the way, for the people out in the audience that didn't hear the story, he blocked me. Douche.
Oh, poor baby.
Couldn't handle the heat. He must have a lot of people blocked, is all I can say. And I never even threatened him or anything. I just told him he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, don't put out a tweet if you can't fucking handle the response. That's the whole thing. That's why I have the disclaimer at the top of my fucking Twitter page. This ain't for no soft ass people. If you get offended by this, and this, you might as well leave my fucking page now.
Yeah, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. That's what I got to say.
That's right. Yep.
We were talking earlier about the Triple A from yesterday, which was the last day, right, of the Rey de Reyes?
Yes. It was
Okay.
the third and final day for
Yeah.
it.
And wasn't the best of the three. But what they did, the opening match was for the Cruiserweight title, a 4-way match. You had, give me a second here. I'm having brain lock right now. The fucking champion, what's his name? Kid. Laredo Kid. There you go.
Yeah.
So you had Laredo Kid going up against Dragon Lee, if I'm not mistaken. Jack Cartwheel, and who's the fourth?
Yeah. TJP.
TJP. There you go. How did I forget? Immediately, 10 minutes into this match, all I kept saying to myself is fucking Cartwheel.
I know, right?
If you guys are still not watching this product, I don't know what to tell you. You're only hurting yourself.
See, the thing about that match, when I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I don't see Cartwheel ever being a big name on the main roster.
Oh, I disagree.
Jesus,
I disagree.
I don't, only because I think his style and his appearance and his whole package plays more to the lucha style than it does the main roster.
Nah.
I think I think in AAA he could be a huge fucking star, but I just don't see him doing this, them allowing him to be the same on the main roster. I just don't.
And I'll disagree with that.
That's fine.
I think when he gets there, the fans are fans at the end of the day. This guy does shit that. Here's the thing about wrestling. We get turned off because it's the same old shit. And not for anything, it's hard not to be. What have they not done? I mean, when you've jumped off balconies and you've come off of scaffolds through 50 tables and almost impaled a guy to death, I mean, where do you go from that? There's not much we haven't seen when you're throwing a guy off the top of the cell through a table down below 20 feet, and he somehow survives and continues the match only to take 2 more of those hits. There's not, short of actually killing a guy, there's nowhere left to go that you can say, oh, I haven't seen that before. And here's a guy, haven't seen a lot of that before. And will it get old over time? Everything does. I mean, Hulkamania had to go and turn NWO because it got old over time. But you can get a good 6-year run out of it if you do it right and if injuries don't get in the way. This guy is next level. He is. They even mentioned it in the game, in the show a couple times, like watching a video game. He's legit. Yeah. You look at these video games, say, "Oh, that's unrealistic. That's unrealistic." Until you see Jack Cartwheel, and then you're like, "Okay, he can do it."
The fact that he does front and backwards fucking cartwheels, no hands, to dodge fucking moves fucking kills me every fucking time I see it.
Everything
like,
though,
God
it
damn.
wasn't just that though. There was moments where, and I wish I would have written it down. I was doing two other things, but there was a moment where one guy, might have been TJP, took a bump and he kind of rolls himself out to the apron, so he's laying on the apron now, back in the ring. You got Jack Cartwheel and whoever else having a spot where the spot sends Cartwheel almost like a sunset flip over the top rope towards the outside of the ring, but instead of landing on the outside floor, he lands with a coup de grace on top of JP, who's on the apron still.
Yeah.
And it's like there's no wasted motion. Every fight, when you thought you seen what's coming, like he's gonna end up landing on his feet on the floor or roll through it or something like that. No, it's a fucking coup de grace to the apron. This match was amazing, and that's all four of them did an amazing job.
Yeah.
It's just this guy is a breath of fresh air that you're seeing shit you've never seen before. He is a top level athlete, just period athlete. One of the things I watched this week was Maven, and he got the show he put out this week, and I don't watch all of his stuff, but I do like watching him. And the show he put out this week has gotten him a lot of attention. Some of it not so positive. People don't like it when you talk the truth.
Was it about them not doing house shows and stuff?
Yeah, the WWE's failing. Here's why. Which, duh. You don't know the product is failing? Well, you'll know in a few weeks. Okay, you'll be reminded. Okay, this is the last hurrah for the WWE because it's not the WWE anymore. I keep saying it. It's no longer the family-owned company, and TKO doesn't understand. This is not Tyson against Razor Ruddock. It's not like must-see. This is theater done really well by some athletic people. But we're not paying you. I mean, I'm saying we're not paying you $5,000 and $6,000 for a ticket, but some people still are. But that number is dwindling, as you're finding out because you can't sell tickets this year like you did last year. And for the people who want to come out and say, oh, they're playing the same city twice, they're not playing the same city twice in a row in 2 months. There's a year in between.
Yeah.
And the folks that were going to travel to see WrestleMania in New Orleans will just as soon go to Las Vegas. I mean, yeah, is it nice to go to a city you've never been to and that you can maybe do something during the day that's unique to the city and then go to Mania or whatever? Sure. But I doubt you went to Vegas last year for Mania and saw everything there is to see.
Right.
So you can still go back to the same place, in a city like Vegas especially. Hell, I don't know why anybody would want to, but you could take a not too long car drive and be in California.
Yeah.
Again, can't imagine why anybody would want to put themselves through that level of hell. But it's an option. I'm just saying. No, the problem is your ticket prices. You've priced out your audience. Your audience are, as Bobby Heenan would say, ham and eggers. That's your audience. And they can no longer afford you. They can't even afford your fucking video game.
Right.
You are just beating people over the heads. This is a New York City mugging on a regular basis. And then you add these fucking special events going on. Cody Rhodes bus ride for $10,000. Sold out. I'm like, no way. Sold out. You can make pasta and have a wine tasting test for $11,000 in Italy. What the fuck? And it'll probably sell out. I just don't get
mean, it's with Chelsea, so, you know.
No, I don't think it was with Chelsea. I think Chelsea was the one wanting to be asked.
Oh, to do it?
Yeah, they didn't give a name of who it would be, and I don't know that you get to choose. That's another thing, too. For $11,000, I want to have some say in it. Now, I might not be able to get, Randy Orton to agree to it or Cody Rhodes. Maybe those top-tier guys have other commitments or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, if I hit the lottery and had that kind of money and was going to do, I mean, I'm not going to Italy for it or anything, but if it was somewhere here in the States and whatever, and the idea of having the opportunity to do wine tasting and making pasta with Chelsea Green, I mean, that's just fucking gold. That is going to be a memory of a lifetime moment. And I
gotta show her my cannoli.
I'm not going to spend $11,000 on it. But if I had like ridiculous amounts of money where, it's $11,000, I'm not going to miss it. that would be the only circumstance I would want to do it in, because there's nobody else that I would find that entertaining with. Not saying that other people wouldn't be entertaining, but so far as me rolling the dice for 11 grand, I feel like my money is safely spent this way, and we're going to have a blast. Has to gamble by map to get Taker 20. Not sure exactly what gamble the map part means. But I understand needing a certain card in order to progress.
Probably has to do with the World Tour, I would say.
Yeah, I too. I just don't know about gambling the map. In other words, is it a matter of, because you can usually select between one or two different locations to go to. So is it just the fact that you don't know which one has which locked yet? Because normally SmackDown Hotel, they normally have that mapped out.
Yeah.
I'm over here setting up a match in the meantime.
Oh, I see. Okay. He said autocorrect screwed it up. He meant instead of my map, it's my faction points. So yeah, you are gambling your my faction points to hopefully get that card.
Which apparently not happening. Again, from all the guys I'm seeing, they are not getting shit. These card packs are not producing the stuff that you want / need to progress.
The only time I really jumped into my faction was in 24 because I had to have the Wolfpack guys and everything. And that besides grinding, I probably spent, it's the only time I spent on my faction. I probably spent about $30 real money to get those, because so I can't imagine what it's like in the game now.
Sure you can.
Fucking.
It's a lot. Let me help you.
Yeah. And every time I go in, I'm not seeing any like my persona cards anyway. So are there?
They're not up yet. They're not up yet. They don't come out right away. There's always and that's the thing. All the money that I've got that came with the package, and anything that I do collect in the meantime, is just going to be used on that. And even then, you might get two. Look at 2K24 if you go back to the shop, and there's only 2 days left on the game, right? And you look at their card market.
Right.
The freaking cards are hundreds of thousands of XP for what? The game's dead, guys. Put it up for $5,000 and take whatever crumbs are left.
Yeah, because that's what I actually went in. I was like, well, let me go in and just see if I can afford any last my faction guys or the persona cards. And I looked at them like, no, okay, never mind.
Thank you for playing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all of them.
No, I get that, Miracle, and like I said, because I wanted those NWO Wolfpack guys versions of Macho Man and Kurt and Lex and shit. I didn't have a problem spending the $30 to buy the packs to get them because I wanted them. But I said, I probably won't do that again. It'd have to be something out of this fucking world for me to fucking spend that kind of money again. So
don't believe him. He likes to drop that money.
Well, like I said, I spent $2.50 a piece on the AAA people. That's how I rationalize buying the battle pass when I reach level 20 on it. I'm okay with that. You put more shit in there like that I can get for $2.50 a piece. Yeah, you would get more money from me doing that for the battle pass than you will for me to go into my faction. That's why I was saying I agree with the guy. Put last year's fucking Persona cards in the battle pass. I'll spend $2.50 to get to this person or that person and shit.
Let's see. I feel like there should be a way here. Hold on. Here we go. We got an ECW Royal Rumble. And by the way, these are almost, well, let's put it this way. These are all of the things that I've created in the game. And then there's a few that I just had to fill in the blanks to make 20.
This will continue until all 20 superstars have entered the ring.
We're at 46 minutes. I don't want to jinx anything, but we haven't crashed.
The last superstar in the
That's a
ring
good thing.
will be declared the Royal Rumble winner and will go on to face the champion of their choice at WrestleMania.
You got nowhere to hold 'em, nowhere to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Kenny Rogers in the house. Yeah, we all spent a little bit. Quite a little bit. So here's my Louis Spiccoli again. These are all my creations. I can't upload any of them because I can't get onto community creations from my main account. So I just figured I'm going to do my ECW stuff from here based on, I was already going to use a theory of what if. And then we already have certain ECW elements in the game and certain wrestlers already in the game. And then I just added a few to fill in the gaps. And over time, I may add a couple more here and there as we go. But this is all time consuming. Yeah, I got to go and bounce over to 2K24 when the stream is done because I know I probably won't remember to do it tomorrow. And we are into that last couple of 48-hour kind of window. I'm not sure if it's going to go down at 12 midnight West Coast time, which is like 3 a.m. our time.
Right.
Or if it's going to be the 12 noon our time, which is their 9 a.m. business hours. I remember when Disney Infinity sunsetted, we were up playing that thing thinking at midnight it was going to go out, and it didn't. We kept playing for hours and hours and came back the next morning, and then at 9 a.m. dead. I was like, oh, shit. Or no, 12 noon. I beg your pardon, 12 noon. I do love the picture-in-picture edition. I think that's cool as hell that you see the guy coming down. Obviously, Kane has nothing to do with mine. I just had to fill in some blanks. And everybody was random, so I don't know what order they're coming out in. And it's only 20, not 30, so. Not looking good for Mr. Spicoli. Oh, he hangs on. Oh, maybe not. You got two big old boys. Yeah, I was going to say, trying to get rid of him, and they do. I love the way Taz turned out. I finally got tattoos made up with ChatGPT. You know, we talk about ChatGPT and all that, and right now how Microsoft has, one of many companies that have destroyed the market. Because with all of the AI advancements, if you want to even call it that, the problem is that they have absolutely devoured the RAM. And now, if you haven't heard, something I mentioned earlier on that we were going to get to, again, this is my Sabu coming in, because of the drive in RAM and the cost increase in RAM, which is through the roof, if you want to buy a PS5 that's 5 years old now and it should be coming down in price, no, it just went up $150. And that'll be the same thing if you're just buying a regular office computer and things like that. They're all going to start hiking up the price because of RAM. I don't understand. Personally, I'm not that big a tech guy. These are all logos on Rhino that were created by ChatGPT as well. There goes Taz. See if we can get a quick look at his tattoos, because that was all chat. The face scan I had already had previously, so that was not ChatGPT, but all those tattoos were. And for the majority of these, like Sabu does not have a face scan. That's just game only. Same thing with Rhino. That's just using the game. It's going to be hard to get a good look at them. But again, no face scans were used on those guys. That's old school style, just using what the game gives you. And the main reason I do it that way is because look what happened with the patches the last 2 years. Fucked up everyone's cause. The faces were all whacked out and all that kind of shit. Now, you may recall that I really wanted to get these two guys on my main account. And I had created them, but they looked like shit because I didn't have any of the graphics. Meaning Bravo and Rayo. Well, there was a guy that did make these two, and they looked really good. Damn, thanks for coming. So what I did is I uploaded them on my other account, and then I basically just took images, you know, of their logos and stuff, put it onto the ring mat, screenshotted that, photoshopped it, and recreated them here. Which is a whole lot extra work. But that's, you know, since they aren't going to be fixing my problem anytime soon, if ever.
And they haven't given a date for the next patch, have they?
No, it's been over a week now since they gave us 6 saying, hey, coming soon. But everything soon-wise, again, no. Oh, this one does have a face scan, and it was actually done by ChatGPT. It came out really good on the big show. Thank you, Canny. Yeah, I like the way these guys turned out. I'm real happy with them. But it's time-consuming, putting a move list together, and then I can't even upload them, which really pisses me off. Because I think, like, my Taz, I haven't seen a better one yet. There probably will be, because usually there is. Rhino, definitely haven't seen a better one yet. I'd put my not Big Show, but my Giant against anyone else's out there. I think it's as good as. Sabu, there's probably a few Sabus that are better. I do like this Roddy Piper a lot. Might be one of my favorite, even though it wasn't my favorite part of his career. I just, again, if you can do this with him, why can't you do this with Trish Why can't you do it with AJ and all these other people? You know, go way back in time or to at least a different portion of their career and recreate them that way. This is going to end badly. Ooh. I think I've done a moveset for the Clown. This is an original character here. And my plan was to use him with AAA, but then again, this is my main account, so he's not going to do any good here. Because AAA is going to be on the other account where I can download all the other ones I need to make out a roster. There goes the Dudley boy. China before the boob job. Although they still gave her a little bit. But also before the jaw reconstruction. It's a good model, though. It's alarming that some of the really good models they have in this game are people who are deceased. These are people that you cannot scan. And the ones that you can scan don't look so good. Make sense of that. I agree, Kenny. They coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't. I also like the fact that now you have the number on screen as to which entrance it is. That's all shit that should have been there a long, long time ago. Look at China looking at... Oh, China dumping the big red machine. And you thought y'all were friends right there. Look what he's doing. The big kibosh. I was watching some Devon video today. He's not natural at it. Devon's not very natural. Like Maven's a great speaker. That's why I think his show does as well as it does.
Yeah, Devon's better when he's got people with him.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I watched the one video where it was Devon, Bubba, and Maven all together. And that was good. But he had Maven play off.
The one I saw today, he was rating wrestlers that he's worked with in the past. From S with Superstar, A, B, C. And C was like the lowest grade you'd get. Mm-hmm. And it was just him reading off the list and grading different people. And I've seen Maven do that. I've seen a few other people do similar, if not the same. I think Stevie might have done something like that. It just... Man, it was very mechanical and just almost like it was read from a script entirely. Look at China eliminating the Giant. Holy shit. Here's a guy I've been working on this week a lot. Shane Douglas. Again, no face scans. No face scans needed. I did get the logo. Again, I can import logos on my main account. So that's where I got the franchise logo there. I just can't do wrestlers. I can't upload wrestlers, and I can't download wrestlers. Damn it, Shane. Try to get a look at his face here if we can. Yeah, hard to get a good look at him, but came out pretty good. Oh, the clown's gone. Bye-bye. Here's another one I put a bit of time into.
Yeah, kid.
Nicole Bass was more managed than most guys on the roster.
Yeah. Although I did like when they put her with without Venus. I thought that was
Yeah.
funny.
I really like my Vikingo, but again, it's on my main account, which does me no good for AAA purposes. And that does, Vikingo and McMahon both have AI face scans. Look at Piper and McMahon. That's a good match. And I'm finally happy with where I'm at with Vince's face and everything. It took me a little while because he has a very weak chin line. And the game doesn't really give you that. You have to find the right preset to start with. And then you got to manipulate the shit out of everything else. And then it's pretty close. Here's Rayo. That's the other one I had to basically steal all the graphics and manually recreate them. There goes Sting by Booker T. Battle of the WCW. Yeah, some of these guys are having very short stints here in the Rumble, no doubt about it. Number 19. Oh, my goodness. Look at who's drawing a friendly number. Again, I like this one. This is a face scan I use that I've had for years. And I love the fact that he goes after McMahon. Look at that. If I had to book it, it would have worked that way. Still has that headset on. He's ready to go to work as soon as he gets eliminated. Look at Heyman springboarding into McMahon. China coming to the rescue of the boss. Speaking of Devon. So, fun fact, they do not make shorts with the bib overalls for this year.
Nope.
I had to get clever and use the Certified G outfit and then just put some brown paint to try and replicate his skin and give the effect or the illusion that they're shorts. One thing I haven't checked on yet. Let's see if we can get a look at Vikingo's face a little bit here. Nah. The one I'm using now on the other account was one I downloaded. And it's not so bad. I had to do some tweaking to it. It's pretty good, though. Hot Rod gone. And that's all 20 in the ring now. So one of these is going to be the winner. I'm going to go with Booker. Booker. Oh, it'll probably be China the way she's whooping everybody's ass.
China.
China. You know, in hindsight, I'm not sure exactly why I put Rayo and Bravo here in this universe mode, other than the fact that, I don't know, I guess eventually... One thing about my other account is I can't back up that save file to the cloud. I can only do it on this one. So for that roster I have over there, if I ever lose that, or this machine in particular... then that's it. It's gone. Goodbye, Paulie. Oh, she missed. Oh, she caught Booker, and he would have eliminated Paulie. I would love to see it come down to Heyman and McMahon. Yeah, it looks like a Vince day out right there. They like it when you do this to them. Uh-oh. Ooh, China fights her way off. We've got Booker gone. Damn, look at Paul Heyman clearing out Booker. Give me my last two is Mr. McMahon going up against Paulie. Come on, man. Fucking Ray, I was going to mess up my game plan. Nope, never mind. China got your ass. McMahon versus Paulie, or we riot. There goes Rayo. All right. Come on, man. Let's get China out of here. Let's get China out of here. Uh-oh. All right, that's all right. Get her, Vinny. Get her, Vinny. And a little sooner would have been better. Uh-oh. Heyman's got her. Come on, Vin. Hang on. Hang on there. Guys, go after China. Go after China. Look at freaking Heyman having a day of his life. Like he could ever get a leg up that high. This just feels right, man. Beating the hell out of him. Uh-oh. Watch out. Here comes a big bitch. Oh, no, 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 no. Shit. Oh, Paulie, hang on, Paulie. Vince, get in there and kick her ass. That's it. He's not done yet. Take her, Vince. Take her. Not the first time you've tried that. And he missed. God damn it. Well, at this point, I feel strongly that China's got the advantage in this one. Although she might have come into the Rumble earlier, but there goes Vince. He's not looking too good. Nope. Well. It is the quintessential stud muffin. Just pointing to the sign that's not there. Nice. I like that. That means the clown's around. What's up, clown? How you doing, buddy? Damn, y'all been busy during that match. Let me see what the chat's got to say here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, I'm 100% right there with you. What did I say for months? Just don't buy it. Just don't pay for it. They'll have no choice but to come down in price. At the end of the day, we have the control. We're just giving it up to them. Gaming right now is about to take a massive hit because between what they're charging for consoles and what they're charging for games, they've misunderstood their audience. And the people like me and many of you that have kept our shit for the years that have gone by, I can switch to a number of consoles, and I've got a full library of games that I haven't even played. So I'm good. And with what y'all are doing, like I already know I ain't getting GTA 6. They haven't even announced the price yet, but you want to guess? It's going to be in the 175 range. I mean,
Well, I've also heard a couple things about GTA 6 that
yeah,
doesn't matter the price, I won't get it.
he's a fag.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went rainbow apparently, but we'll see. Hey, I mean, it didn't hurt Last of Us 2 that much, did it? Oh yeah, actually, it kind of did. Well, Clown, yeah, there are a lot of fools out there that are easily parted with their money. I agree. But they only have so much money to be parted with, and now we have kind of crossed the divide on, when do you say when? They're saying when. And even this game, granted, yeah, you cut out your last-gen audience. Okay, so we knew you weren't going to make as much money, even though you're trying to get us to pay the difference. But a lot of people, when they heard Battle Pass, said, yeah, I'm going to just wait. And every YouTuber, I challenge anyone, show me the YouTuber who's posting content saying how great the game is. They're not. I've seen several that are saying, you know what, I'm just switching to another game. I can't do anything with this game. And even the ones that are posting content are telling you how horrible it is. It's not fun. That's the overwhelming theme over and over again. Even the people who are forcing their way through the mud. This ain't fun. I'm not having a good time with this. I was telling Jay, I tried doing a stream last week. One of the house parties, which is a house show where I just hit play and it goes and there's no commentary or anything like that. It's just there if you want to check it out. And it's a good thing I was kind of paying attention because I set up a run-in for CM Punk. And instead, after the match was over, the run-in was done by the referee. But then after the cutscene finished, CM Punk was outside the ring, came in the ring to then start the fight with the guy as if he were the one that did the run-in, but it wasn't him, it was the ref. And then the referee just stood there like, I forgot my lines. I don't know. I'm confused now. Why did I run in on the guy? Why am I the ref? Am I the... and that's it. The referee didn't do shit. So normally that little run-in cutscene leads to maybe a 2-minute match, not even a match, just a beatdown scenario where they fight back and forth until one of them either taps out or gets pinned or, KO'd, whatever the case may be. That match is just going on forever, and it was never going to end because the referee was just catatonic, just standing there, didn't do shit. And Jay was telling me that he had the same situation. Tell him what happened with you.
I had 2 wrestlers in the ring, and they did the whole lockup and then pushed back into the corner. Well, the ref got caught in the corner there with them, and when they broke the lockup, the ref just stood there. Like he was, like Vince said, he had PTSD and shit because the match just wouldn't stop because the ref wouldn't do any pin counts. And they went outside the ring. He didn't do any counts for that. It was just like he's in the corner going, and yeah, so.
Yeah, Ken says 2K could have not gone down that road. Ken, they couldn't have not gone down that road. You know why? Because TKO owns the company now. I'm not saying this never would have happened if Vince McMahon was still the owner of the WWE, but I don't think it would have. Because Vince understood his audience. Always,
or maybe not to the extent that it has.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there'd be a battle pass. I really don't. Not that Vince would know what a battle pass is, but I'm sure somebody would have cued him into it. Or, as I recall, it was the THQ, I forget what year, where it was a bad game. I mean, it was just a really bad game. And the overwhelming, flooding feedback to the WWE office was, what is this piece of shit? And they got leaned on. THQ got leaned on heavy, saying that this can't happen, guys. What are you doing? And shortly after that, THQ was gone. And this should be a renewal year, give or take. Nobody knows the exact date, but it's every 10 years, give or take. And this right now would be falling in line, time-wise, with discussions of renewal. And based on how tragic this one came out, how do you renew that contract? I don't know. Now I hear people saying, well, maybe EA could take it over. EA hasn't got a good track record in anything they've done. I don't know where that leaves you. I mean, I can't think of a publisher, a developing company. I can't think of anyone that I would personally stand back and say, this company I would have all the faith in the world in. There's not one out there right now for me. So you're pretty much and that might be where they end up going and just saying, well, might as well keep the devil we know. But I'll tell you right now, the tipping point where they're going to feel the impact of this is 12 months from now, because I promise you, next year, maybe 1/3 of the people that pre-ordered will pre-order next year's game. If you're lucky. And most of those will be YouTube content creators. I think the people that just went and got it because they didn't want to wait and they didn't want to miss out on anything, I think those people are done. They are not coming back. You are going to have content creators showing you that at launch this game is working. And we all know that ain't simply going to happen. It's just not going to happen. What they need to do, and they won't do this either because, again, TKO, the greediest motherfucking company out there, and that is really saying a lot. TKO ain't going to sacrifice a season, but what they need to do is not put out another game next year. They need to take this game and fix it and build a base underneath it, because people I've talked to that know a lot more about this shit than I do are saying the same thing. TKO has built this game on a very faulty foundation that's getting ready to crumble any minute now. And that throws me back to when I first started working at Disney over 20 years ago now. They were still working off of a DOS system for their reservation system. And this was long after, nobody was using that in resorts, and technology had gone so far beyond that. And the fact that the biggest entertainment company was still running their massive system on that for reservations. And I had talked to an IT guy there. They eventually did switch over to something a lot more modernized. But when I had talked to a guy right about the time it was switching over, which was at the end of my first year, he said, we were really dodged a bullet. I said, what do you mean? He says, this was so fragile that one mistake, one thing going wrong in this system, it would have all been gone. There was no backup for it. So reservations would just be gone. Whether you made one or not, nobody would know. Whether you paid or not, nobody would know. I mean, that's how fragile the system was 20 years ago, and they just got the new system up in time, according to him. And I feel like that's the conversation that I'm hearing in my head again when I talk to people that know about the technology end of this game. They're saying the exact same shit he said about that, and that this right now, the foundation this game is built on. That's why it looks so much the same in the last 3 years. It's the same frame, same dashboard. Nothing's changing, just the images. And why? Because it's the exact same game, and they still can't get it right. How is that? That's the part I don't get. How can you not, when you fixed all this shit last year and the year before and the year before, why is it broken again? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. But yeah, Clown, I think next year you're going to see a massive, and they won't tell you about it right away. They're going to have to. It's a publicly traded company. But they're going to keep it as close to the vest as possible, and they are going to also inflate the numbers in any way possible. They are going to lose their asses next year. They will get the YouTubers, and that's it. That's all they're going to get. And then when those YouTube reviews come out, and they're going to be scathing, I can tell you that right now based on this year's. And I wouldn't be surprised if you lose a big portion of the YouTube community. I wasn't going to say it because I have already lost credibility by buying this year's game, and I understand that. I'm not getting it. I'm done. I mean, you can doubt me, and you have a right to. That's fine. The fact that I can't get into DLCs, the fact that I'm back and forth with 2K, and we're working on your problem, we're working on you, and that was 2 weeks ago. And when hey, what's going on? Oh, we're still working on your problem. Fuck you, ain't doing shit. You're just milking this along. So am I going to stick with the game? I've already paid for it, and they're offering me the money back. At this point in time, this is the last of the money they're ever getting from me. I'm done. I'm done. Because I'm not enjoying it at all. This has not been a fun experience for me. The only thing I can say positive right now is that we are, an hour and 20 minutes in and the stream hasn't crashed. So maybe these fixes actually have fixed something. Here's hoping. Don't want to jinx anything.
Right.
But, yeah, I think a year from now, they are going to eat their asses in losses. And I'm looking forward to that. And it will happen. There's no doubt in my mind. But they'll still post stuff endlessly on Twitter and on WWE television programming, showing the great reviews based on, Game Rant and X-Volt and all these bought and paid for magazines that they contribute money to get these reviews out there to try and find the mindless people that don't know to go on YouTube and see real players telling you how bad the game is. And not for anything, if by now track record alone doesn't tell you already 2K27 is going to be broken at launch, you're a fool. I think the people now buying it for the 2K community, the YouTube community, I should say, the 2K games, they're just buying it to be the first ones to tell you how broken it is. What's the statuses, the me's, Blaze. Blaze, I don't think Blaze realizes just how much trouble he's in. Because what this game does right now with created content, it's not good luck, dude. I mean, granted with him, he doesn't run any angles in the sense that, they don't have run-ins and they don't have cutscenes in his. And it's a good thing because he'd be dead in the water. But I do have a funny feeling when this patch comes out, his shit's going to look kind of funny. I hope not, but I'm basing it on track record. I'm basing it on track record. This is what they do. This is what they do.
Yeah.
I'm remembering Joe Pesci talking about why you don't buy food at the drive-in. You remember that? Lethal Weapon? No?
It's been a while.
Lethal Weapon where
You have to refresh my memory.
they go to the drive-in and get their McDonald's or whatever it is, and they're driving away, and Leo, here's your food. Wait, that's not what I ordered. This is not what I ordered. This is what. Okay. This is why you don't go to the fucking drive-thru, because they always fuck with you at the drive-thru because they know you're going to be 5 miles fucking away by the time you realize you got the wrong fucking food and you're not going to turn around and get it. And this is why you don't go to. Same thing. It's the same thing. You are not going to get what you think you're ordering.
That's why I don't go to the drive-thru. I go inside, so.
I'll go to the drive-thru. I just ain't pulling away until I open the bag and see what's in it. Grinds are not fun. No shit. We should get a t-shirt that says that. But if you're not grinding, you're not playing the game properly. And again,
You're right, Clown. There are people who's going to play every year, but that's what their content's based on. They keep playing and then they want to bitch. What we said, we bought the game. We can't bitch because we knew what shit for it was when we got.
just so you know, Jay, you're garbling up really bad right now. It's like you're buffering. You sound like C-3PO there. Only with extra with extra testosterone. Or no, you sounded like what's his name? Oh shit. Sheldon Cooper's favorite guy in the wheelchair. I keep saying Bill Gates, but no, not Bill Gates. The other. What the fuck's his name? Hawkins. Yeah, that's who you sounded like. So the reason we were coming here to talk today. Ken Rogers says the same as about people complaining about the NFL games and Madden. Yeah, I haven't bought a Madden game, and I can't even tell you how long, and it's never been a free game on the PlayStation Network. Go figure. I look at it this way. What can you do to an NFL franchise game next year to make it different than this year? You know, a few years ago, they changed a bunch of rules and shit, so, okay, that made sense. You know, the kickoff rules completely changed and all that, so I could see where you might want to update it for that. But how many different ways can you make the sun glint on the camera and make the snow fall and look realistic and footprints and behind? I'll tell you something that I was actually surprised with this game. I think it was doing a show where I was watching it, and so one of the house party shows. And there was one match that was a bloodbath. Then we move on to the next match. The stains and the blood and the canvas stayed. So that was pretty cool. But, yeah, what are you going to do in football? I mean, it's like I got this year's NHL game, and that's the first one I've bought in a decade. But I bought it because the Islanders are my team, and we just signed the number 1 overall pick, which is an 18-year-old defenseman who's fucking amazing. And I just know that this guy's going to have a career. I mean, a massive career. And I wanted to have that rookie game. Am I going to buy next year's? Probably not. The next one I'll buy is when they win the Stanley Cup. Because by then, and that might be only 2 to 3 years away. They've got a really good core going right now, and they build around this guy. Now, the key is this. You can't turn it into the Orlando Magic. When this guy's rookie career contract is up, you better find a way to keep him in Long Island, which is not exactly the hotbed that most 18-year-olds or, at that time, 20-ish-year-olds want to be in. But he seems like a pretty down-to-earth kid. Not like Shaq and Penny, who wanted the limelight of New York's big bright lights, or California or Miami, you know.
Yeah, the last time I bought a Madden game was the last year that they did the crossover with the NCAA college football. Once they stopped doing that, I didn't have a reason to buy either one, because I like I was telling you, I like the transferring from the college game, the players over to the Madden game. And then when they stopped that, you got rid of the one reason why I bought both games. So.
And the other thing, when you're talking about the Madden games, for example, and correct me if I'm wrong, since I haven't bought or paid for one forever, with the NHL, as long as the only reason I ever bought an NHL game was to play the NHL season as the Islanders, which I can do. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't cost me a nickel more. I think the game was like $40 on sale when I bought it, and it was pretty new at that time. So what's different with the NFL? In other words, if I bought Madden for some stupid reason, I won't even watch the NHL. When they started kneeling and Kaepernicking and all that crap, I was done. I'm one of the fans that actually stuck by my word on that. I said I'll never go to another game. I haven't gone. I will never watch another game. I haven't even watched a Super Bowl. I watched Charlie Kirk's halftime show. That's how much Super Bowl I watched. So I and all these fans were burning their season tickets, burning their jerseys, doing all that, and yet the stadium is full. That tells me you probably got your tickets back and replaced, and you probably went and bought another jersey, stupid ass, because you just spent $50 to $75 to burn one. Same thing with the NBA. You know, I wasn't an NBA fan, but I lived here in Orlando, and I was there when the Magic came on board, and there was an excitement about that, and I went to the very first ever Magic game, which was a preseason game against the then defending world champion Detroit Pistons, which we fucking won, which was amazing. And it wasn't because it was preseason. No. Detroit left their starters in all the way into the fourth quarter because they couldn't lose to the friggin' scrub team. But they did. And I was hooked. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we get Shaq and Penny, and we're going to the finals, and we lose 4 straight. And then we can't keep Shaq, and we can't keep Penny. And I'm like, fuck this. And then Rich DeVos, the owner, turns around and says, either you build us a new arena or we're going to go to St. Louis. Fucking go. What do you think you have to bargain with? You can't keep any talent here. Every time you got good rookies, we've had Tracy McGrady. We've had a bunch of names that have come down the pike. You just can't keep them here because nobody wants to be in this shithole city. It's a different, when you talk about Snyder over there in New York, for the Islanders, that's hockey, okay? And he's a young white kid. He's probably had a pretty boring life. I don't know where he grew up or whatever, but I get a funny vibe off him that he's not that big into the nightlife. Versus the NBA, where they all want to, party it up and they want to be in South Miami Beach, South Beach. They want to be in friggin' LA, New York City. That's the whole thing about making it to the NBA. The bling and the cars and the women, and these are not Orlando. That's Mickey Mouse. That's why you could get a LeBron to go to Miami Heat, but you never would have got him to Orlando. It ain't the money. It ain't the money. It's the facade. It's the lifestyle. It's the way it looks. So, again, why am I supporting this? You're never going to keep anyone on your team because they don't want to be in Orlando more than the 2 years they mandatory have to. And we're going to pay you a new arena when you couldn't do shit? And by the way, the new arena sucks compared to the old one. So, yeah, I'm done with all these franchises. The only thing I watch at this point is NHL, and it's 99% because of the Islanders. I'll still watch a little bit of maybe a Ranger game or a Devil game or even Pittsburgh. I respect the Pittsburgh Penguins because that's an organization that always seems to rebuild around a star. They're always at least in the hunt. I mean, Sidney Crosby's definitely seen the better days, and he's on his way down and out. But they're still in the picture. They're still contenders. There's any given night or any given season, they could be in the run for the Stanley Cup. They might not be the number one projected winners of the Stanley Cup necessarily, but they're in the conversation. Whereas the Islanders haven't been in the conversation since 1984. And the Magic will never be in the conversation. Even if they make it past the Eastern Conference Championship, your track record in the finals is like this. 1-8. And that's it. You lose when you get to the finals, and you're very good at it. You've got it down to a science. And you're going to hold us up for a new arena? Fuck off. But they gave him one. New arena, same shitty team. Yeah, Clown brings up the obvious point, which is 2K got a patch out very quickly, and the only thing it did was nerf the ability to grind quickly, or more quickly. It was still a 3.5-hour process. But it's nice to know that they have their priorities. And again, I've been saying the same thing for weeks and weeks and months now. There's just no competition. That's why they can get away with this shit.
Right.
There's no competition. Matter of fact, I had sent, and I got to check on that later. I had sent our friend Sam a message a few weeks ago saying, we could really use a good video game about now. See if he had anything to say back, but I haven't checked on my Discord, so I don't know if he's responded or not, to be honest with you. But I'll get back on that later on, and we'll see. Actually, I can pull it up on the phone. Discord. Yeah, and I'll be getting out of Discord in the not-too-distant future because they're getting ready to implement a mandatory ID thing, like a federal ID you have to present to use it. And I'm like, fuck you, no. I'm not giving you guys any information. No, nothing back. I said, how you been, man? We need a game that doesn't suck really badly right now. And that was back on March 23rd. So silence speaks loudly to me. I got a funny feeling that ain't going to happen. Yeah, I think going back to the old games is going to end up being the thing to do. Just, I remember having a really good time playing Here Comes the Pain. And Clown brings up, there's one thing about being scammed by something that you didn't know about. It's another thing when you're being scammed by something you should absolutely have known was going to be a scam.
Right.
The writing was not just on the wall. It was in the advertising. It was in the pre-run commercial spots. It was all over the place.
Big bright neon above your head.
Blinkety blink. Well, Ken, it's a little bit different with the movies nowadays because a lot of people have devices. And you can see movies that are in the theaters right in your own home. It's not as good a quality necessarily. But, I mean, if you absolutely want to see the movie, as opposed to rolling the dice. And last movie I went to see, I saw by myself. Can't even tell you what it was. Don't remember. It was that good. And matinee for myself. I took the senior discount, bought a thing of popcorn and a soda, and it was over $20. And I'm like, I can buy the DVD or Blu-ray for $20. Or I could just watch it at home for free. And again, it won't have the surround sound and you know, when they bootleg those movies that are actually in the theater run at the moment, they're normally not of very good quality. But you know, that was how I ended up seeing Song Sung Blue when it was in the theater because I didn't want to take the chance. And I'm glad I didn't pay because, like most people, I thought it was a Neil Diamond story, and it's not. It was a story about a Neil Diamond impersonator. It was a true story, and it was a good story, and I would have still liked it had I known that's what it was, but you misled the public. Everyone thought it was a Neil Diamond biography. So, yeah, I think the movies are already down and out. Not only that, but look at the fucking Academy Awards just happened. Nobody watched. All-time lowest ratings. America is sick and tired of Hollywood and the elites. They don't want anything to do with them anymore. There's a handful that have a good reputation in the industry. You got guys like Tom Cruise who have managed to stay out of the political world. Smart. There's not a big list. He's one. James Wood's another one, but I don't see him doing too much in the way of movies anymore, and he's definitely not a leading man. But, again, somebody that I would not have a problem watching their work. I think Helmsworth, is he not one of the guys that's still got a brain? I'm not. I might confuse. Who's the dude that? Shit. Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord.
Chris Pratt.
Pratt. That's it. Yeah, I know he's sane.
It's all the Chris's. There's Chris Pine.
Yeah,
Chris
that's what I'm
Evans,
saying. My brain couldn't
Chris
get them through the
Helmsworth.
card catalog fast enough. Yeah, but he's one that's got a brain. He's not stupid. And there are a few, and there was obviously Stallone. Love him.
Well, Ryan Gosling, his new movie Project Hail Mary, just came out, and at the premiere, he said something that nobody in Hollywood saying. Somebody asked him about the decline of movie theaters, and he said, he's like, it is not the fans' job to save movie theaters by going. It's our job as movie actors and makers to make something for you to want to come out and see in the theaters. And he's like, if you don't want to see it, that's not your fault. He's like, that's our fault.
Yep.
And he's getting a lot of shit over that. But guess what?
It's logic. They don't like logic.
At $180 million.
Yeah, they don't like logic over there. So Snow White lost $175 million officially, and that's not counting the ad money. They don't want to put that money in there because they guesstimate.
No.
Experts guesstimate that there was over 200 million, 100 to 200 million in advertising. So conservatively, it lost $300 million. Why? Because you had that little cunt, Rachel Ziegler, over there talking about how the movie was about a stalker and by the way, I voted blue today, and if you didn't, don't come to any of my stuff because I don't need your business. And they didn't. And then the little twat had enough to actually go to a movie theater to see her own movie, and it's an empty movie theater. There's no one in it. Mm-hmm. Because that's the way they all were when that movie came out. And she's showing herself when her name comes up on the credits, and she's like laughing like a hyena. And it's like, you're dead. You're dead and buried. There's no movie company going to touch you ever again.
Yeah.
And I hope something happens where all her money disappears. I hope some massive thing happens in her life where all that money has to be used and she is back down to maybe $80,000 left in the bank. Live like a regular person. When you see some of these people that turn up on the streets of Hollywood and they're, the Dana Platos, that were hugely successful and then all of a sudden living out of a trailer and unrecognizable, I hope that is Rachel Ziegler in 10 years.
Well, she's currently on Broadway, so it might be a little longer than that.
Oh, that's not a money maker. That ain't Hollywood. That ain't Disney money.
No, but it'll be enough to keep her out of a trailer for a few years.
We'll see. So Broadway, you said, right?
Yeah.
Where is that located?
New York.
Yeah. The Muslims, you think they're big fans of Broadway productions?
Depends on the story.
Do you think there's a Broadway production right now that caters to the Muslim audience? I don't.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you what's on Broadway right now.
Nothing Muslim, I can promise you that. No,
and you're talking to somebody when I lived in New York City for the 2.5 years I lived up there. I went to Broadway plays often. Saw Phantom 3 times. Saw Cats once. Saw Fiddler on the Roof.
I love Fiddler. Fiddler's a good one.
I loved going to Broadway, and you couldn't get me to go to a fucking Broadway show now.
Exactly.
Nope.
Keith O'Toole wants to know what happened Saturday night's main event last night. Dude, watch it. I'm not going to spoil it. Watch it, even if you have to skip a little. It sets up for Tuesday night, Madison Square Garden, man. WrestleMania, you got to watch that. It was a decent show. Make sure you watch the intro, though, man. I spent time on that shit. Ken's a Ranger fan. That's all right, man. Here's the fun thing. Back in, what was it, 94 when they won the Cup finally? I was rooting for the Rangers, which as a New York Islander fan back in the day, there's never a way that would have happened. But once you leave the state, now you're living in Florida. And back then, I was still proud to be a New Yorker because we hadn't gone to hell in a handbasket where it's an embarrassment like it is today.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I was rooting for the Mets. My big challenge came is when the Yankees played the Mets in the World Series in 2001. And I'm like, well, now what the fuck I'm supposed to do? Or 2000. It was 2000, actually. And I'm sitting here going, this is the dream match as a kid. We always wanted and knew would never happen. And it's happening. For the World Series, the New York Yankees against the New York Mets, and all I kept hearing is about, well, that turns all the nation off. Nobody cares about the World Series. I don't give a fuck about the rest of y'all. I'm watching this shit. And I was like, I don't know, I don't want to root for either team over the other. I just want to, watch the history in the making. And we got about 3 innings into game 1, and all of a sudden I find myself rooting for the Yankees as, oh, shit, I guess I'm still a Yankee. So that decided it for me. I was a Yankee fan. Do I watch them anymore? No. Because it's turned into an absolute mess. The whole fucking baseball is just when they're going on strike, canceling the World Series. That's what did it for me. I think they were the 92 I was thinking of. Yankees were having a pretty good season. Looked like they were likely to add another championship ring. And they canceled the World Series. Major League Baseball won't get paid enough. We're going to cancel. I'm like, fuck you. I'm out. Bye. Get my coat. Get my hat. Got to go. Yeah, Ken's got the same logic then. Yeah, why go to the movies when you can watch it at home for free? I agree. And they talk about piracy and this and that. Y'all force piracy, man. Everyone's rates are going up. Netflix going up again. Again, Netflix is going up.
I attribute going to the movies as I used to going to a wrestling event. You went for the experience. You went for the atmosphere. But you've also got to put on something good for me to want to go experience that. And it's the same with wrestling. Couldn't pay me to go to a show right now. I would love to go to AAA, but I ain't going to Mexico to do it. But WWE main brand, No, because the experience isn't the same as it was when I went back in the 90s, when I went into the 2000s. I would go probably, I'd say in the 2000s, I went twice a year because they'd always come to Dayton twice a year. And I'd always go, whether a SmackDown Raw live show, house show, whatever. But couldn't get me to do that now. Same with the movies. The next movie I'm probably going to go see in the theaters is the Masters of the Universe movie, just because that's going to be fucking fantastic to see in the theater. But we'll find out.
It'll be interesting. Jay, question for you. Your headphones, is there like a blue pad on it or something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so my bald head don't get
Because I asked that
I
because
don't have the hair like you do for the Kusha.
no, what I asked you because in looking at it, it's like it looks like you have blue hair, and that's all you're missing is a septum ring, and you're there.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. When I lived in New York back in the 2000s, I had platinum blonde hair. I had the piercings and stuff, but that's before that lifestyle became as
Gay,
fucked up and woke as it is now.
gay, say
Gay, very gay. Harvey Weinstein, gay.
Well, I don't know if he was gay or not, but man, he took advantage of a lot of girls. Now, did he? That boy fuck anything with a heartbeat. And I'm not even sure that was a prerequisite.
Maybe it was who's that other Harvey? He was in Mrs. Doubtfire and stuff with Robin Williams. Harvey, shit.
Mrs.
Can't think of his
Doubtfire.
name. Yeah, he was the one.
He
who
had
did
Pierce
the
Brosnan.
makeup for. No, the guy who was his friend, who was the makeup artist, who made the makeup for him.
Yeah, I won't remember his
He's
name.
who I was thinking. Yeah, that's who I was thinking of, not Harvey Weinstein, but his name's Harvey too, and he always talked like this. He has the big bushy beard. And
Yeah,
stuff.
he wasn't acting.
No, he wasn't.
That wasn't an act. That was a real deal. Well, we've made it to 1 hour, 47 minutes and counting, so I feel like maybe I can start doing some streaming again and not crash. I don't want to. I feel bad saying it out loud. I'm just begging it to happen. Or maybe it's like, no, you're fine. Go ahead and try and stream an actual card and see what happens. And then you'll get 3 matches in and...
Yeah!
We'll see. But all right, I think that's going to be a wrap for this one. I'm running out of things to talk about, and I do got to get a few other things done around here with this game. I don't want to stream 26 until the patch comes out because I already know I can't stream Universe Mode, and that's all I have because the cutscenes aren't going to do what they're supposed to do. So I'm right now at the mercy. So we'll be on 25. I might do... my plan was to get through Tuesday and have WrestleMania, and that was going to kind of wrap up the whole Saturday thing, at least for a little while. And that may still be the case. I don't know. It really comes down to this patch. So I may come back and do a little bit more Saturday on 2K25 until... the long-awaited patch 1.7 sends everyone's console into a smoking heap. And that's the other thing about this game. There's no consistency. The PS players, the Steam players, have had certain issues completely separate from the PlayStation people, completely separate from the Xbox people. It's like everyone's having a clusterfuck of issues that are unique to their platforms.
Yep. And, you know, something else, now that you mentioned that, you playing those hardcore matches, the weapons coming out, could be because I'm on PC.
Oh,
could be just
yeah, that's a very good possibility.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that you are on PC.
Yeah.
And not for anything, I feel, and I don't play PC games, so I can't say firsthand, but I still feel like the PC community is like the redheaded stepchild because they don't
We are.
equate for the sales. The sales come from
Nope.
consoles. So I really do feel like they get neglected a lot, which is one of the reasons why I don't buy PC games.
Well, and that's why I was so pissed off and I didn't buy 25 because that's how I felt when they said, well, the consoles are getting the island, but you guys aren't. Well, then I'm not paying fucking full price
Exactly.
if I'm not getting the full fucking game.
And you really didn't miss much with the island, in my opinion, but you liked the island this year, so maybe you would have liked it. I don't know. We'll never know.
I didn't get the option to try it.
I was
so
just going to say,
don't know.
we'll never know. All right. Well, for all of you that joined us here today, thank you so much. If you haven't seen Saturday night's main event, go check it out. Watch the beginning, the intro part a little bit, and then if you want to skip a little, if you have to, or if you have the time, watch the matches. They were good matches. But that is going to set you up for Tuesday, and I'm not going to spoil it here. Got to go watch it. So, in the meantime,
in between, I was going to say in between those, you can go to my channel.
Yeah.
And see the new HSW Warzone, which is 2K26. It's an all new roster. It's 90% created cause and 10% current roster. And yeah.
How many episodes have you got up?
The 7th one comes out.
Oh, you've already got a handful of them up.
Should have just come out. It's the first 2-3 weeks has been, I did Sundays and Wednesdays. Starting the second week of April, they'll be going to Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But each episode is only, I'm keeping them right around the 20-30 minute mark. So
Well, I guess we spoke too soon, everybody, because guess what? It fucking crashed right there at the last minute. So whatever the fucking issue is, I'm trying to get my camera back up, so just give me a second here. It's just got to be something, doesn't it? There we go. Got that. So, problem not solved. At this point, I have to just say it's Windows 11, and there's no fixing it. There was a recent patch, and I thought maybe that fixed something, but clearly no, because we're in the same boat as we were before. Fuck all this shit. But like I think moving forward, I'm not going to be doing live shows. I might try one or two more of the house shows and see how they go. But I can't be doing a live show, especially like a pay-per-view event, and then all of a sudden this happens. I'm just not going to do that. So anyway, that's where this thing falls. All right. Well,
If you were to switch over to Linux, what would that all entail for you?
basically wiping everything out on my current hard drive, so which I've got stuff backed up, but it's on certain programs and things like that, like Photoshop, things like that. And then the question is Linux going to recognize those files and things? Because I mean, I got a ton of shit now between screenshots and graphics for titles and overlays and audio clips and all this. I think the audio clips would be safe. The video should be safe. It's MP4 files. I think they'd be fine. But that's a whole education. I need to go down that road to find out. Then I got to find out how much is it going to cost me to switch it over to Linux. And there's also a lot of things like OBS, I think now has Linux, but I don't know if DaVinci does. And are there other opportunities out there besides DaVinci? Probably, but I know DaVinci. I like DaVinci. I'd like to stay with DaVinci. Again, that's work, man. Having to figure all that shit out.
I know. I was just asking.
So, all right. Well, with that in mind, say goodbye, Jay.
Goodbye, Jay.
Goodbye, everybody else. We'll see you guys later when we can crash and burn again. I don't know what to tell you. But in the meantime, remember...
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
It would take a miracle.
Bye-bye.
Have fun storming the castle.